Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this morning's market review. My name is Akondiola Komi Joshua, like you all know, aka also known as what? Josh FX. All right, so we're about to begin now. All right, so Abalaji Jeremiah, good morning. Akpo Favor, good morning. Amechi, good morning. Brown Akinola, good morning. Okay, I can see the name Champion, good morning. Danyambot, good morning. Elijah Ejegbasi, good morning. James Otegbayo, good morning. Jeff Dollar, good morning. Nathaniel Amadi, good morning. Neboval, good morning. Olariwaju Benga, good morning. Oyeshina Oyekami, good morning. Sunday, okay. Sunday Joshua, good morning. Tobilo Babatunde, good morning. I can see Tunde Shitu, good morning. Yusuf Abdul Rahim Oniwapele, yes, Yusuf Abdul Rahim Oniwapele, good morning to you too. And to all those joining just now, I'm saying good morning to you too once again. And yes, I also saw some names that well, I'll call it device name, and just like I said, for all those that the system will be showing their name as a device name, a phone name, that I won't be calling their names or calling the phones again. So for us to be able to acknowledge you very well, to call your name, please kindly change your device name to your own name so we'll know how to address you better. You understand? It's more that's the proper way of doing things, you understand? So please let's change our names or the device name to our real name so we'll be able to acknowledge you. But all the same, we acknowledge you. We're saying good morning to you, and thank you for joining the morning market review. All right, so straight away now, we'll move straight into the real deal. First thing first, we start with fundamentals. We'll look at how the market has actually moved in between yesterday, today, or let's say from day before yesterday to today. And then we dive into the real deal to see how the market is moving technically, what we are envisaging in the market. You understand? We begin to look at it and envisage how the market is going to move. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen from my own end here. So I believe we should be seeing it now. Yeah, I've already shared my screen. So we should be seeing my screen from our own end. You understand? So yes. Let's go back in time to see what has happened. So as I did before yesterday, we had news coming out on GDP, CPI, then the core PPI news on USD. They both moved the market. For GBP, it came out good for the instrument, so that was bullish. While for USD, it came out bad. And you can see it on the actual showing red, came out bearish. Then as of yesterday, we had the unemployment rate and the employment change coming out on AUD, and also came out negative for AUD. And we actually saw a reaction on that throughout yesterday on AUD USD. You discover that the market was actually really pushing to the downside. Then by 7 a.m. we had the GBP average earnings index 3 months to year, then claim now count change. Also, this came out bad, although the average earning index came out neutral. That is, it's just in between, not really picking a definite direction. But for the claimant count change, came out negative. Then by 1:30 p.m., we had the USD core retail sales, employment, unemployment claims, and the Philly Fed manufacturing index, which came out positive for the USD, showing that yes, the information is good on USD. Very good on USD, and we saw the way the market moved immediately on that. USD JPY went up, Euro USD pushed down to the downside. Then as at 11:30 p.m., we have member Wallace speaking. Yes, he spoke. You understand? But in between day before yesterday and yesterday with today, some funny things came out. There were some certain news that came up which were breaking news, and we discovered how it moved the market. You understand? The very first one was okay, I think day before yesterday in the evening, we had Donald Trump speaking. He spoke two times. Two reports was given to us, I think, within a space of 5 to 10 minutes. The first one coming in, where the Fed courts were saying that Donald Trump actually talked about firing Jerome Powell, you understand? And that battered a reaction. It batted a reaction. You discover that immediately some instruments that were selling began to buy, and some that were buying started selling too. It was a strong move. Then immediately that finished, I think 2 or 3 minutes after that, another one came out saying Trump is saying that he's not going to do anything. He's just going to allow him to stay. You understand? And immediately he said that, the market also moved the other way. It started reversing back from what it used to do depending on the instrument. You understand? Like for those that were on currencies, you discover that instrument like USD first went down. After that, saying that it's not doing anything, it reversed back to the upside. You understand? So all these things also affect the market. These are one of the reasons why I said we can't keep away fundamentals. To trade the global market, we also need the news, which also one way or the other affects the market too technically, because once those decisions are made, they look at it, and if it's been implemented or effected, the market begins to move in reaction to what the information has been given or disseminated. You understand? So all these are part of the things that affects the market. So this morning we are going to be looking at what exactly we're expecting from news. As of this morning, we have some medium impact news. That's the prelim University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and prelim University of Michigan inflation expectation, which is going to be coming out by 3 p.m. All right, so yeah, it's a medium impact news. So one way or the other, it will have its own effect on the market. It's going to be having its own effect on the market, but until then, nobody knows how it's going to move. If the news is going to come out positive or negative on the US dollar, you understand? So we have to just wait, cross our fingers, and see how that is going to be. Okay, so after that, I think now it's time for us to get into the technical aspect. But before that, let's look at the currency strength meter. Let's look at currency strength meter. Okay. All right. So on currency strength meter now, on currency strength meter, okay, currently based on what we are seeing, we can see that euros is still gaining strength. You can see the green arrow on it, but the strongest instrument as of this morning is AUD and NZD. We can see them in full bars, complete, followed by euros, which is gaining strength. Then we have CHF also gaining strength. GBP, yes, is also on the same wavelength with CHF, but as of now, I want to agree that CHF is pulling more strength. So that's why you're seeing that green arrow on it, and we're not seeing it on GBP. Then followed by Canadian dollars, then the US dollars. The lowest of them or the weakest of them all as of this morning is JPY. And some of the things we need to also look at. Part of the reasons why this currency might be weak is, by weekend now, you're going to be having their upper class election, the elite upper class election. And this also could move the market depending on who is coming in. Whoever is coming in, if that person is somebody that has a strong charisma on the economy, once he comes in, you see that one of the things we should hope for is, if somebody that has charisma comes in, you see the market moving in a particular direction. You see investors coming in because why? They like the person they are seeing coming in. The market is going to move in support of that person. But if it's not the set of people they like that are coming in, you see the market moving the other way. You understand? So let's keep our fingers crossed, expecting that if the market moves in a particular direction, so Sunday is the upper elite upper election. Then by Monday there will be on all day holiday. You understand? So after that, hopefully by Tuesday we should see a massive move. Even on Monday we could even have massive movement in the market. You understand? So that's that on its own. Let's look at the market now technically. Right, with us. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now so we could see this. Let's see what is happening in the market. I'm sharing my screen so we can see what is happening in the market. All right. Okay. First thing first, I'm starting with Euro USD, like we all know. That's the first major instrument. So we're going to be looking at how the market is actually moving on Euro USD as of this morning. We're looking at how the market is moving as of this morning. Okay, I can see a chart. Let me see it. Okay. Ekpemsky, good morning. Good morning. You said, I don't understand, okay, that you don't like picking your clients when they speak to you. For your information, some clients' charts have been disabled, so do the needful. All right, Mr. Ekpemsky, if you don't know, you want to have a direct conversation with me. If the opportunity has not been given to you to talk, maybe you were not called upon to talk, why not use the chat section? Why not chat me directly? You can see it on the message part. You see my name there. My name is Joshua. You can see it. You can see Ola Komi.Akande also. Yes, you see it there. Chat me directly. So if you don't have the opportunity, or if I don't call that, okay, please speak. Maybe I'm not seeing it, or maybe it's time already. And once it's time, yes, I might not be able to drag it further than that, because there are still other things that we have other clients too, where I am here, that needs to be attended to. You understand? So once you've seen it, that I say chat me, direct it to me. Once I see it, I will respond. But if you don't do that, how will I do it? And you don't, and at the same time too, I might not be able to answer everybody at once. So once you have the question, why not drop it on the chat for me? You understand? But what you're saying there, it's really not nice. Saying that I don't pick my client's call or something. It's not nice. That's bad. All right. So let's move on. Euro USD. Let's look at it. Euro USD from my own end. Starting from the daily time frame, let's look at what has been happening. So for a while, price has been moving up on Euro USD. Now it got to this particular high, and you're seeing that there's a rejection here now. So, and price has expected that rejection, and it's what? It's coming down. But let's look at the trend. What has this trend been like? As price expected this trend based on what we're seeing. So I'm picking it from this part. Let's see. Based on what we're seeing, yes, price has respected the trend for a while. It has respected the trend, but currently where price is now, you discover that price is actually trying to break below that trend. In fact, it actually went below the trend. So is price going to break back into that trend? It could be a fake out, you understand? Is it going to break back? But if price should retest that particular trend now and is unable to break back into that point, then we could have a shift or a break in structure. You know, this is okay. This is one part. So we could also look at it from this other part too, saying that price has been moving this tight for a while now. We put it this way. So yes, based on what we're seeing here now. So that's one, and this is the other one. So let's look at it and see. If it's in two ways now, price could get to this point and respect this particular zone. This is on my higher time frame. Although based on what we're seeing on the higher time frame, it's been giving us an uptrend. If you're looking at it and we're able to look at it now, you discover it's giving higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So that has been the trend until it got to this fixed supply zone. So is price going to reject? But if price is able to go push back to the upside now and break into the zone and goes higher, it means it's giving us that what? That bullish trend. So if it is giving us a bullish trend, where are we expecting price to go? We're expecting price to go upwards. In fact, currently where price is, you discover that it's a demand zone. It's a demand zone. So let me move a little bit to my lower time frame. Now, can we see? Yes, it's a demand zone where price is. Is price going to break above it? So this is it. If price is able to break above this point, okay, if price is able to break above this point successfully, then we should expect a bullish trend. If price is able to break above this point successfully, we should expect a bullish trend. But if it's unable to break above this point, just getting into this box section and it reverses back, then we should expect the market to move bearish. This is on 1 hour time frame, and we can see the way it's been moving. It's been dropping. Yes, you understand. And yeah, okay, so let me draw the trend even from the 1 hour. You can see it. It's been dropping for a while now. It's been giving us that bearish move for a while. So if it's giving us that bearish move for a while there, and price has been expecting it. So, and you can see this particular point now is more or less like a cross section with the box and everything. So it's a powerful zone. If price is able to break above it, we could have a continuation on that bullish movement. But if price is being rejected there, it could continue respecting the price. So let's hold on for this particular cross section. As far as price is unable to get into that point, we should have a bearish move. That's my take on Euro USD. So the next instrument we'll be looking at is USD CAD. I'm going for USD CAD. USD CAD. Yes, let's look at USD CAD. Okay. Looking at it from the higher time frame to know the trend now. I'm zooming out. Let's see what is happening there. All right, let's see what is happening there. Okay, so on USD CAD now, this is on my daily time frame. I've zoomed out. You see, price actually went to the upside, then now it's coming back to the downside based on what we're seeing. And we can see that price has actually come back into this particular zone where it used to be, where it was ranging for a while. Now, one of the interesting things that we need to understand is this. I feel some of the reasons why we are seeing some of these things is due to the trade wars between the US and the Canadian economy. You understand? Due to the trade war between the US economy and the Canadian economy. That's why we've been having all this back and forth with the market going up or ranging on that part. But all the same, we can still trade this market technically. And how are we going to do that? Currently, you discover that the new demand zone that has been created is just around this point, and you see that market actually expected these 2 points, pushing it up. You understand? Now it has gotten to this part again, and price is giving a zone there. So is price going to break above this part? Okay, is price going to break above it? So unless price is able to break above it, we are not expecting price to move up. So this is it here now. I'm marking it out for us to see. If price is able to break above this part, then we should go bullish. We should go for that bullish move. But if that does not happen and it respects this point, we should expect price to come back down. And if it comes back down, it's able to break below this point, which price will be going further down. And we could have price coming down to this point. You understand? As of this morning, yes, based on what we're seeing, which we could pitch our tent with the USD based on where it is. But before you go for that bullish movement, hold on for it to break above this zone. That's going to be my own bias. Let's hold on for it to break above that zone. If it's able to break above that zone successfully, then we can go for that bullish move. But if it doesn't break above it successfully, I think we need to what? Hold on that. So that's my own take on USD CAD. So the next instrument is going to be USD JPY. I'm going for USD JPY. Okay. So just like we know, JPY has been weak for a while. And because JPY has been weak for a while, that's why we're seeing that bullish move on USD JPY. Just like we've seen, like I said earlier on, I feel because they are going to be having their election on Sunday, it might be part of the reason why we are seeing the market just being a little bit, or the currency a little bit big for a while, just being quiet, cool, slow, no nothing really being said on this particular instrument. You understand? So yes, USD JPY, because it is weak, we've been expecting that bullish movement for a while, and currently it has actually gone up for a while. So we should, I for one, I'm expecting price to actually come down on it. Although on USD JPY, look at it, went up, came back, went up, came back, and now it's still trying to push up again on USD JPY. So I just feel it's supposed to come down. Based on what I'm seeing, based on my own guts, I'm feeling it's supposed to push back to the downside. But let's wait and see until after the whole election of a thing. This is point one, and you see that price is respecting this point for a while now. So except price breaks above this part, I don't expect it to push up. But if price is able to break above it successfully, then we could have that strong bullish move. We could have that strong bullish move if price breaks above this part. But if it doesn't break above it, then we're expecting price to start pushing back to the downside. And basically on USD JPY, JPY, like we all know, is what is weak currently. That's why we are having that move, a bullish move on it. Throughout yesterday, you discover that the price pushed up, and yes, so that's just it. So for me now, I'll still say we should hold on a little bit. Look at where price got to. Even on daily time frame, it has respected that point, and price has not broken that point. So what are we expecting? I'm expecting a bearish move from that point, a strong bearish move. So let's wait for our bearish confirmation moves, then we'll go for that move. That's my own take. That's my own bias. I'm waiting for a bearish move on USD JPY. So let's take that. All right, so we'll move to the next instrument now. The next instrument is going to be USD CHF. USD CHF. I'm looking out for USD CHF. All right. Coming, I'm on it. Just USD CHF. Okay. All right. So on USD CHF now. On my daily time frame, if you look at it, zooming out, you discover that CHF has actually been strong for a while. It's really, really been strong. And we can see it's been pushing down and down and down and down and down for a while. And yes, although we all know it, the only reason, part of the reason why you've been seeing the US dollars being strong, it has been more of political statements from strong influencers like Donald Trump, who've been making speeches to just push the market, you understand? But apart from that, we all know it generally that the US dollars is actually weak. And the Switzerland franc has been strong for a while. So, but currently looking at where price goes to this particular demand zone. If you're looking at the trend, in fact, let's zoom out, looking at the trend for a while, price has been dropping. It's been dropping, giving us that lower high and the like. So this is a bearish move on USD CHF. On now, I would expect price to push back to the upside because of what we're saying here. It got to this particular demand zone and it got rejected, except if price is being pushed back from where? Because where price is now, this particular point is also another zone. So this could be a very good point to go for a bearish move if price is rejected around that point. You understand? Where price is resting currently is a supply zone. So unless price is able to break above this particular section successfully and close above it successfully, we should expect price to reverse back to the downside. It could keep on or push down based on what the trend we are seeing. We've seen it there for a while. The trend has been moving down. So unless it breaks below above this point, that's when it could change structures and move. You understand? But except that is done, we should expect a bearish move. And that's why you see this particular box section now has been marked out for us to look at it, to see it very well. If price is able to break above this part successfully, then we can go for that bullish move. But if the reverse is the case, please let's move out. Okay. Thanks. That's that on that. We look at another instrument now. Let's look at another instrument now. Let's push to another instrument. All right, so let's look at GBP JPY. Let's look at GBP JPY. Then after that, we'll move to other instruments, commodity instrument. All right, so looking at GBP JPY, we discover that GBP has actually gained strength. The strength has just been coming. And the main reason is because JPY2 is also weak. If you look at it, even from the currency strength maker that we looked at this morning, in fact, let's go back to see it. You discover that JPY is the weakest. In fact, based on what we are seeing and the reaction I'm seeing on the chart now, I will say that GBP is also gaining strength again. Let's do a refresh and see. Can you see? It's gaining strength. That's why you're seeing the green arrow on it. Look at, you're seeing the green arrow on it. It's showing that GBP is really, really gaining strength and it's been pushing up for a while. Just like I said, I'm expecting that price to reverse back to the downside, like GBP JPY2. I'm also giving that bias that it should sell, although nobody knows when it's going to sell. But one of the things that I know is, yes, part of the reason why this market is this way is because of the election that is coming. So I feel the market is a little bit sloppy. Now, a little bit sloppy or choppy around that. Nobody's trying to invest into the market until these have the outcome of the market. Just like the USD, beginning of this year when we had Trump, the whole election of a thing, discovered that the market really didn't really move. It was just a little bit choppy on the USD. But the very moment they got to know that, okay, Trump has won the election, you discover that the market became volatile. And it began to what? It began to move. And that's the same thing I feel is happening here now. Based on what we are seeing, look at it based on daily time frame. Price has gone up and up and up. Okay, so let's look at it coming, bringing out that marking the zone for us to see. Now, this is it. And if you look at it, the last time he even got to around this point was that it got to this point and it pushed above this point was last year. It got to around this point last year, around July last year. It got to this particular high. You can see it from my crosshair. That's when it got to this high. And unless another thing is happening here, if the election moves in their own way, yes, we could now have the market being bearish. But after that point, it came down massively. You understand? It came down massively within a month. You saw the way price pushed down. You understand? But if you look at it, ever since then, it's been respecting where price is now currently. It's been respecting where price is currently. It got to that point, it got rejected, came back down, got pushed back to the upside again, getting close to that point, got rejected again. Now price is around this point. This point where price is currently is a strong supply zone. So there's only one thing that I'm just saying there. As far as price does not break above this part, price is not going up because it's a strong supply zone. So if this is on daily time frame, so I'm marking it out for us to see. But once price is able to break above this part successfully, we could have price pushing up to the upside. It could get as high as this particular point we are seeing here, or even break above it. Yes, it will get as high as this point. So let's hold on and see. But back to my 1 hour time frame now. So on my 1 hour time frame, what are we expecting? Are we expecting price to push up? I'm expecting a strong bearish move from this point. I'm expecting a strong bearish move from this point. I'm expecting price to respect that point. Or throughout the day, we might even have price just dancing around that zone. We might have price dancing around that zone. But I, for one, I'm still expecting price to drop. I'm expecting a strong bearish move on GBP, JPY. That's my own resolve. I expect price to push back to the downside. That's my own resolve on GBP, JPY. Yes, I'm expecting a bearish move on GBP, JPY. All right. So we'll move to commodities now. Let's look at commodities. That also could also be another instrument we need to look at. Let's look at commodity. Yes, commodities. Let's look at gold. Let's look at gold. Let's look at gold. Yes, like we all know, gold is paired with the US dollars in the market. So there have been reactions on gold based on what has been happening in the market, like 2 days ago when we had Trump making statements about saying that the Fed court was saying that he said he was going to fire Trump, and he later he said he was going to fire Powell, later coming back like some 2 to 5 minutes later saying that he's not going to do anything. And you saw all that move affected the market. But if you look at it now on the higher time frame, what has gold been doing? If you're looking at it on the higher time frame, gold has actually respected a particular point for a while. In fact, let's put it here, coming. This is it. This is point 1, the highest. Although, yes, this point here is the weak. It got to that high point, but where it closed is where you're seeing my horizontal line. Then this is another point. In fact, let me make it tight here. Let's just put it like this. So it has just been between these 2 points for now. But even within these 2 points, we can see that price as of now currently is just moving between this point and this point. So it's just between these 2 points. So I will say in between these whole places now, price has just been ranging to the up and downside, yet to give us that definite direction. So based on what we're saying, as far as price is unable to break above this part, we could have price pushing back to the downside. And looking at what we're seeing on the 1 hour time frame, based on what we're seeing on 1 hour time frame, it's giving us that downtrend now. Let's see. Based on what it's showing that price actually is coming down. So, or except if price is able to break above this trend that is shown now, if it's able to break above it, then we could have price pushing back to the upside. Yes, but if it doesn't break above this particular trend we are seeing here, then we could have price pushing down. But if it breaks above it, the price could go up. And yes, that's just it. And another information I want us to all know is this. Like I've said it time to number, gold is an economic instrument. In fact, the commodity instruments are economic instruments. They react to economic situations. So part of the things we need to just look at information on the economy on gold, and then yes, we'll know what is happening on it. Yeah, so that is that on gold. I'm expecting price just between this point. If it's able to break above it successfully, we could have price pushing up today on gold. We could have price pushing up today on gold. Yes. So let's watch out for that buy movement. That's my own take. Let's watch out for that buy movement on gold. That's my own bias. Okay. Now the next instrument we'll be looking at is let's go for oil. Let's go for oil. Let's check oils. Okay. Come in. Bring in that oil. Yes, I'm on oil now. And we just so based on what we're seeing on oil, I'm zooming out. Yeah. So okay, so for a while, at a point, oil dropped. It dropped. There was a massive drop on oil. Then after that, it's been regaining that movement back to the upside. But if you look at it, it's doing it slowly. It's pushing up slowly. So are we expecting it to push up? Yes, we could have price pushing up. Could have price pushing up on oil. But basically, part of the reason why most of us were already looking at it, that price of oil should drop is we discover that around the world now, currently, countries like China, who have been great consumers of oil, have reduced their consumption of oil. One of the reasons is because of they now depend more on electric vehicles. They depend more on electric vehicles. But you see, for everything that has its pros, also has its cons. And part of the issues they have with these electric vehicles is the charging points, you understand, is not actually much. You understand? Where they can use in charging the electric vehicles is not much, except if they are going to be looking out for ways. So one way or the other, they still cannot do with oil. They will still need oil. You understand? But just that the price, the amount of quantity they are going to be needing, it's not going to be that much. And currently, around the world, we already know that we have a lot of countries coming up. They are discovering crude oil here and there, and we have a lot of countries also trying to build their own refinery. So by the time these commodities are in large quantity, you know that yes, for sure, price is going to be moving down on oil. But with that being said, let's look at what the market is saying technically on this particular instrument. Okay, this is point one, and this is another point. And if you look at it, just like I said, if we were to look at it quietly or calmly, it's just been moving quietly. It's been giving us that upward trend, but in a cool and calm way. You understand? Quiet way. So are we expecting it to push up? So for me, on my 1 hour time frame, this is price respecting this particular zone here. You understand? If you look at it, it's price respecting this zone. So as far as price does not break above this point, we're expecting it to push back. Price respected that zone and is pulling back. So fine. After this candle zero, we could have price retesting this point. And if price is able to break above this point successfully, we should expect a bullish move on oil. That's my own take. So I'll be waiting for price to break above this part successfully before I go for that bullish move. My take on it is bullish. I pitch my tent with the bulls on oil as of this morning. Yes. All right. So moving to the next instrument now. Let's go to let's look at wheat. Let's look at wheat. Let's look at wheat. Okay. Let's look at wheat. So looking at wheat now, based on what we're seeing, we discovered that price has actually been going down on wheat. Price has been going down on wheat for a while now. Based on this trend we are seeing, picking it, price has been going down on wheat. So what if I'm to speak again, I'm pitching based on the trend I'm seeing, I'll pitch my tent with the bearish traders. You understand? Look at it from here. It got to this particular high and came down. This is on my daily time frame, so I'm expecting price to come down. But on the daily time frame now, this is one zone that we should look at. Okay, so price got here and it has respected that point for a while. Whenever it gets there, and we can see as of this morning when the market opened, it even gapped up a little again on daily time frame. It pushed up. So depending on what we are saying, but if you're looking at it based on this structure, we're expecting the bullish move, yeah, we still have a lot of time to go. It could push above this point successfully, or still break below this particular point coming down. But yes, based on what we are saying, I will pitch my tent with the bears on wheat. I'll pitch my tent with the bears on wheat. I'm expecting price to still push back to the downside, like go down on wheat. This is my take on wheat. And some of the informations we need is on what is to look at what the weather, you understand? Highest producer of wheat, let's look at the weather and everything. And currently, just like we all know, we know that yes, Ukraine has been one of the highest producer, but due to the war between Ukraine and Russia, we've been having issues. That's why price has actually gone up. But even with that, we are already having some other countries now that are becoming what great. They're also producing wheat now, so that could also influence the market to become what cheaper. You understand? So the last instrument we look at on wheat is what sugar. Let's look at sugar, and I'll give us my own reason. You see, some of these instruments, like we said, like yesterday now, I saw a particular news on CNN saying that Trump was saying that for the sugar producing companies now they are going to be using the cane sugar. They are going to be using the cane sugar. And you see, if an information is coming like that, that yes, for production, that's for Coca-Cola. Yes, for Coca-Cola, they are going to be using the cane sugar to produce Coca-Cola. So it means if they are going to be using cane sugar to produce Coca-Cola, what are we expecting? We're expecting a good consumption on sugar, you understand, sugar cane and the likes. And all these things could also influence the market, you understand? Where is sugar gotten from? Yes, it's gotten from sugar cane. So yes, we're going to be expecting a stronger move on that particular commodity. Yes, let's look at sugar. Let's see. Let's look at sugar. Amateurs. Sugar. Okay. So if you look at what we're seeing as of this morning, all right. Yes. And you see, price of sugar is actually pushing up to the upside now. As of this morning, price is already pushing up. The whole information came out yesterday, but if you're looking at it as of now, this morning, you're seeing that price is now pushing what? It's pushing to the upside. We're expecting, what are we expecting? I'm also expecting that price will also change now because the consumption on sugar will also what will change. You understand? Since there's going to be more requests on sugarcane and remaining, yes, price will change. So I'm going to be pitching my tent with the bulls, and you can see the trend is already moving to the upside. But let's hold on before we can go for that bullish move. Is price going to break above this point? Is it going to break above it? If it breaks above it, then we could have price pushing up for that bullish move. But if it's unable to break above it, we could have the bearish move. So, well, for me, based on my own bias, I'm pitching my tent with the bulls. I'm pitching my tent with the bulls. All right, so we'll move to indices now. Once we're done with indices, we'll come back to this market and begin to check all the instruments we want us to look at one way or the other. Let's just do that. Let's go to indices. Let's move to indices. So starting is let me look at US 100. Yes, US 100. I'm on US 100 now. I'm on US 100 now. Okay, so US 100, based on what we're seeing, we discovered that price has actually been moving up now. It's been pushing back to the upside, even on the daily time frame. Yes, let me zoom out so we can see it. Can you see? It has gotten to, in fact, I'll say this is an all-time high for it, based on what we're seeing now. Yes, this is an all-time high, based on what we're seeing now. It has gotten to this all-time high and it's being rejected. So yes, based on what I'm going to say is, once you discover that price has gotten to is getting to a new high, we need to be very, very careful. You understand? So let's hold on for price to pull back a little. Once it pulls back a little, then we can now go for what? Look for that bullish point we can pick or hit. You understand? There will be a rejection, a reversal. You understand? Just a reversal. And after the reversal, we'll take that bullish move. And currently, based on what we are seeing on 1 hour time frame, we can see it is a little bit choppy. It's more or less like it's ranging around that point. So that's a correction point for it. Let's hold on and see what which direction is going to pick. Is it going to push to the upside? If it pushes to the upside, then we'll follow the move, being bullish. If it breaks down, we'll go where? We'll go bearish with it. So my take on US 100 for now is we wait. Let's wait and see what price wants to do. That's that on US 100. All right, let's move to US 30. Let's go to US 30. Let me just, okay, US 30. All right, and we just, okay, so US 30 now. So on US 30, we'll discover that based on what we're seeing on the higher time frame too, it has also pushed up to the upside, has pushed up to the upside, and we can see that price is respecting that particular zone. In fact, this was, okay, so this was the last time it got to this particular high. Now price is just close to that point, but it's been rejected. You can see price is having issues there. So my take on this is, if this is on daily time frame, except price is able to break above this part, we should wait as far as unable to break above it. But if you're looking at it from the 1 hour time frame, because that's it's also a distance, because I'm looking at it on the daily time frame, it's also a distance. But on my 1 hour time frame now, with us on my 1 hour time frame, if you look at it based on where price is now currently, drawing my horizontal line, fine, this is your support. You can see it got to this particular supply zone, and price is respecting that point. So we could have price being rejected around this point. Price could be rejected around this point. So this is my own take. As far as price is unable to break below this part on US 30, as far as they're unable to break below this part on US 30, we should expect a bullish move. We should expect a bullish move. But if it breaks below it, then price could reverse back to the downside. But as far as it's unable to break below this particular section, we should expect a bullish move on US 30. All right, so the next instrument we'll be looking at is US 500. US 500, okay? All right. Neat now, US 500. So daily time frame, are we seeing what I'm saying? Price on US 500 also has been moving up. And yes, based on what we are seeing, it has gotten to it has gotten to this particular all-time high now. So we need to be very, very careful. We need to be risk cautious, because yes, it's at an all-time high. You understand? So we need to be very, very careful. And based on what we are seeing from this particular section, you discover that this particular market has been ranging around this point. You understand? So let's hold on and see what price wants to do. Yes. Is it going to break above or below this particular section? Whichever section it peaks, or whichever direction it peaks, then we follow. If it doesn't give us that direction, let's hold on. Let's hold. Okay, I'm coming. Let me try it. Okay. Stay with us, please. All right, let me put it on my 1 hour time frame so we'll see. Pushing back. So this is just it. So on the daily time frame, you see like it's ranging, but on my 1 hour time frame, you see it's giving us one good direction now. So let me zoom it out so we can see. Can you see on daily time frame, it's small, just in between these points. So let's hold on and see. Is it breaking above or is going to be below? You understand? Let's hold on and see what price is going to do, because yes, price got to this resistance here and is expecting it. So I'm just expecting a minor pullback. Yes, let's have that minor pullback. It could come down to this particular section. So after that, if it gets rejected around this point, back to the upside, then we should expect a bullish move. But if that is not the case, if it breaks below this point, we could have that bearish move, continuous bearish move. That's that on US 500. All right, so let's look at US 2002 and see what it's doing. US 2000, this is on my daily time frame. All right, my daily time frame now with us. Okay. So price is also moving up based on what we are seeing on this trend. I'll pitch my tent with the bulls based on what I'm seeing. This is on daily time frame. I'll pitch my tent with the bulls based on what we are seeing on daily time frame. Price has been pushing up. So I'm now on my 1 hour time frame now. You're seeing price coming down. All right, yes, it's coming down. So let's just hold on for price to test this particular zone again. You understand? This used to be a supply zone, but got broken and became a demand zone. You understand? So price is trying to push back. It's more or less like what price is doing now is a retest. So if price is unable to break below this part, we should have that bullish move. But if it breaks below it successfully, then we could have a bearish move taking place here. All right, we could have a bearish move around this point. All right, so done with that. Let's come. I'm coming now to the chat section to look at some of us. Maybe you have any question, you have an instrument you want me to look at, then we'll look at it together. So I'm starting now. All right, so oh, Mr. Shoyemi Adeleke, you said 500 and I just did that. Mr. Adeyemi, you too, you said US 2000. I just did that. So yes, I feel I've answered that for you. Victor Edojo, you also talked about DE40. Okay, I've not talked about DE40. Let's look at DE40. All right. DE40 is known as German stocks. German stocks. Let's go to DE40. And yes, it's also influenced by which currency? The euros. You understand? DE40 is influenced by euros. You understand? So what are we expecting? Based on what we are seeing, this is on 1 hour time frame now. Price actually got to a particular high, rejected and came down. Now it has gained momentum and is pushing back. For me, I feel price is going up on DE40. That's my own bias. But before you go for that bullish move, hold on for it to break above this particular section. It is currently. Hold on for it to break above it and close above it. Then we can stick with that bullish move. That's that for that. We can stick with that bullish move once that happens. Yeah. So but for me, based on my own bias, I'm pitching my tent with the bulls. I'm pitching my tent with the bulls on DE40. That's my own take. That's my own take on it. I'm pitching my tent with the bulls. All right. So I think I'm done with that of DE40. Let's see which other instrument. Okay, saying somebody by the name Osha said we should look at Euro CHF. All right, let's go to Euro CHF. Let's see. Let's go to Euro CHF. Euro CHF. Let's see what is on Euro CHF with us. Euro CHF. Okay, so this is Euro CHF. All right, let me look at it from the daily time frame. If you're seeing it on the daily time frame, you discover that price has been choppy. It's more or less like price has been ranging. You understand? So coming back to my 1 hour time frame, in fact, based on the trend that we're seeing on daily time frame, let me push it back so we see dropped for a while, pushed up, came back to that same point that it dropped to, and is ranging around that point. So let's look at the 1 hour time frame and see what is happening on 1 hour time frame now. I'm zooming out so we see. If you're to look at it, price has been dropping. Although it's tight, you understand, but price has been dropping. It drops and pushed back up, drops and pushed back up. Currently, you see it dropped to this demand zone and pushing up. So what are we expecting? Because this market currently is what is tight based on what we are seeing. It's tight based on what we're seeing. But if we're to follow based on the trend we're seeing from these 2 points now, yeah, from this point, except around this point, it gapped down and pushed back to the upside, came back into that same zone again. And you see that price has been respecting this trend. So unless this market price is able to break below this trend now, we shouldn't expect the market to sell. But if it breaks below this point successfully, then we could have a bearish move. You understand? We could have a change of move. But as far as it does not break below this move, the market price should push to the upside. That's my own take on Euro CHF. And if you look at it, Euro is actually gaining strength as of this morning too. So that's that on Euro CHF. All right. Okay. So, all right. So yes, I can see that some of us are raising up our hands. All right, let me give us that opportunity to speak. Father Aris Solomon, yes, kindly unmute yourself and speak. Unmute yourself and speak. You're raising your hand. I'm with you, please. Father Aris Solomon, unmute yourself and speak, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Fadari. I'm with you.
Yes, sir. Please, I want to ask now, like this, I want you to help us to study AUD JPY first. One. Then two, I want to ask, look at these USD CHF. The line you draw now. Could we say the effect, can we calculate the effect of the news with the current trend of the market? Because I looked at breaking this structure, maybe it may be effect of news, sir. Can we calculate it with the market structure, with the way the market, the trend of the market?
Now, one of the things I need you to understand is this. The
Okay,
news
sir.
works together with the market.
Yes.
You cannot say just technically, I'll just trade technically or this. One way or the other, you have influencers that will also move the market. And once a statement is being made, there will always be a reaction. It's just like a human being now. We as humans, we have a particular kind of way, maybe we have a particular character we are always exhibiting to a particular body or a particular person. But when a particular statement is made, if it goes the positive way for you, you discover that your actions will also change. With time, your actions is going to change. And why is the action changing? It's based on the information. If the information is negative, your action is still going to change, but it might take time to adjust to the information that has been given. So if you're looking at it now, the structure might be an upward structure, an upward trend, you understand? But once the news comes in and there's a sharp movement and it breaks, that's just the reaction you usually get first. Then there will try to be a balance of it. You understand? Now, once the market now balances well, after it has taken that balanced form, then there will now be a reaction that, okay, let's look at the way it is. Now, this looking at the way it is just decisions of buyers and sellers in the market. Like, okay, this information has said this, and it's really not going to stand well with us based on the business we are doing. I think we need to start pushing down, or let's continue because yes, he made the right statement and it's like that. So you get it. So we cannot do away with fundamentals from technicals too. We can't do away. They all work hand in hand.
Okay,
but the main thing is one of the main things I want you to understand is this. Interpretation of that information that is being given is what matters. That's a keynote. We make speeches, and until you understand or you know the reason why that speech is being made, there will always be misunderstanding or misjudgment of the market. But once you understand the main reason why this information is being made, you'll be able to determine where the market will move. All right? Okay.
Yes,
all right.
Please, then, another thing I want to ask is this, sir. Effect of is it compulsory that every news the market must reverse?
No, it's not by force. It's not on
because I observed in AUD news earlier yesterday that the market continued the structure, and because I expected
that was because it was weak. Yesterday AUD was weak. The information that came out is employment and unemployment rate, and the truth is this: it came out negative. And one of the things that shows if an economy is strong is their employment rate, creation of jobs. Now, if the number of people in an economy that are unemployed is on the high side, what is that saying? Inflation will set in. And once inflation sets in, what's that also saying? Recession will come in. So it's really, really bad if these are strong, will I say, parameters that is being used to judge if an economy is doing well or not. You get it? So as of yesterday, the AUD was weak. You discover that as of this morning now, it's beginning to gain strength back. You understand? And you are seeing it pushing up. Now, that is pushing up. There are other parameters that is coming in play that is now absorbing the information that was given to us yesterday on employment. You get it now, sir?
All right, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Okay, so, yes. I think I'm done with Mr. Fadari Solomon. I have Mr. Francis Eneche. You two, you're raising up your hand. All right. I'm giving you the opportunity now. Kindly speak out. Let me hear. Unmute yourself. Okay. I'm with you, Mr. Francis Eneche.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hey, my own is I cannot chat. They say the host has disabled my chat, so I don't know. This has been
so just like I told Mr. Ekpemsky at first, because Mr. Ekpemsky had already said something on that, which was pointing the fingers at me, but I responded to that. No offense taken, but this is it. If you're seeing it like that, you could also direct it to me directly. Just direct it to my own name. You understand? My own name. Okay. You see it there. You see Olakomi Akande. Just send the message there. And so as far as I see it, I will respond to it. So that's that.
Okay, that means that you have to type your own name then and send.
You send it to me directly. Once you send it to me, I'll be able to respond. Now it
It's okay,
depends
sir.
too. As far as the network too works, I'll see it. If I'm unable to see it, then it might not be a problem from my own end. It could just be due to network and the many.
It's okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm seeing Ms. Aoyeshina Oyekomi. Kindly unmute yourself too. I'm listening to you. Unmute yourself and speak to, please.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Oyeshino. I'm with you.
Yes, I wanted to ask you, what is the closest support for us to enter for US 100?
You're looking for the closest support.
Yes.
Well, I'm coming. Let's see. Where's US 100? I think, well, did I close this instrument? I'm coming. All right. Let me bring it out. US 100. Still relax. Okay. So, as of now, are you with me, Mr. Shino?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, so Mr. Ishino, this is a demand zone here.
Okay.
Now, what I'm doing is I'm just putting it at the point of this week because this week too is also a zone. You understand? But if I want to make it tight, I could shift it into this point. But no, we're not going to do that. Let's give it space to breathe. So this is your next demand zone. Get it?
But how do you determine that was a demand zone?
Now, can you see that price has actually ranged between that point?
Yes.
This is yes, price has ranged between that point. So that point is now a zone. Except even if you don't want to look at it around that point, this you could drag the horizontal line. Okay, so you could look at it around this point. This is also another zone. So in fact, basically, if I'm to put it to make it easy, we can just say this particular section is a demand zone for price. I believe you can see it on your screen.
Yes, I can see
it. But if you want to make it tight, okay, fine. Based on what we're seeing on ranging, this is the demand zone there. So as far as price, we expect that point. Yes, we should have price going back to the upside. That's that. Okay. All right. So I think we've come to the end of today's morning market review. Kindly note that today is a Friday. And because today is Friday, we know that the market is closing by 10 p.m. So everybody try to manage your risks, try to be trade cautious. You understand? And I hope we have a lovely weekend ahead. Thank you very much. Bye for now.